This is how I make a gold leaf capsule. So the gold is what you see at one end of the capsule. It's a 00 size capsule I got from the health food store. And the white powder is freeze-dried lemon juice crystals. I'll show you the label here. 2 lemon. So I buy it in bulk, like a 10-ounce jar. And then I got this from something, I don't know, maybe it was a protein powder thing, but I use it. It's a 1/4 teaspoon, but it's a nice long handle, so I can reach way down there. So the procedure is quite simple. I take an empty capsule and I open it up, and if I can do it with one hand. Can I do it with one hand? No, I don't. Wait, yeah, I can. Okay, and so I put the long one off to the left, because they're 2 different lengths, the long one and the short one, and I put the short one face down to the right. And then I've got 2 toothpicks that act as my spatula, and I hold them together kind of like chopsticks, but I don't operate them as chopsticks. I keep them closely packed together like this. And then I tip the jar of gold leaf powder to one side, so if I have to, so I can scoop out a little bit. And if it's too much, I knock it on this edge to shake off some of the excess, because I want it to be able to fit inside the capsule. And I have a floor lamp here. If I got from a neighbor. She was doing a garage sale. I needed a floor lamp anyway, so I got maybe I should turn this off. There. So I got a floor lamp here to give me extra light, because my eyes are not so good, and I can see what I'm doing. So I take, there we go. I take the long length of capsule and I hold it between my fingers. Now with my other hand, I take the 2 toothpicks and I scoop out an adequate amount, and I have a little dish here in case any drops off to the side. I can always lick the dish with a wet finger to get not lose any of the valuable gold. And so I stuff a little bit in the bottom of the capsule by sliding it in and then rotating the toothpicks between my fingers while the toothpicks are immersed or inserted into the capsule, so as to remove to disengage the gold leaf powder from clinging to the toothpicks, and then I can ease them out and then maybe use the tips of the toothpicks to stomp or lightly pack the gold leaf to the end of the capsule. Now I use toothpicks for a reason, because plastic is a dielectric material that stores voltage charges, and gold leaf is a metal, a gold, that's very lightweight, so lightweight it can just, it's very lightweight, trust me, and it tends to cling to things that have an electrostatic charge because gold is a metal. But wood does not store electrostatic charge like plastic does, so I learned the hard way not to use plastic little spoons or spatulas to try to scoop the gold leaf out, because there's no way it's going to work. Glass is also good. You see it's in a glass jar here. This is the way I bought it from eBay, because it also does not want to cling to the sides of the jar, because it's glass. For some reason glass is good and wood is good, but plastic is no good. It just shows you, if you want a dielectric material, use plastic. So I use a wood-based spatula arrangement, and I have to use 2 toothpicks and not 1 to give me the flat enough area to be able to scoop up just the right amount, and 2 toothpicks fit very nicely into this 00 size capsule. So I twirl them between my fingers to get the gold leaf to come off the toothpicks, and also help stomp the gold leaf into the bottom end of this capsule. And then I take them out and I twirl them over the bottle to also try to get off the last bit, and then I put it on the lid, because I don't want to waste any gold leaf, it's kind of expensive. Then I move over to here, holding this and rotating the capsule between my left fingers, in my left hand. I pour in slowly some freeze-dried lemon juice powder, and I rotate the capsule because the powder is going to be coming off at an angle off the spoon, and it's going to tend to fill up the capsule with a little hill of the poured material. So I rotate the capsule between my fingers so as to try to evenly distribute that mound of powder, so there's not just one way, it's conically in all directions inside the capsule. Now I'm also going to have some powder on my fingers, so I try to brush that off as best I can while holding this at an angle upright. And then I come over with my right hand. I might have to take it over the sink and clean off my fingers extra and clean off the capsule. Actually, no, not yet. So then I come over here and I put, with my right hand, I take this, the short capsule, and I lightly put it on. These capsules are designed to snap into place if you push them hard enough, so I just lightly put it on, and then I take the arrangement over to the sink and wipe off the extra powder. Maybe there's a little gold leaf powder, but mostly it's lemon juice powder, hopefully. And then I snap it into place, clean it off some more, and then stuff it in these little bags that I got from Walmart. Let's see if I can, whoopsie. What are they called? They're Great Value Double Zipper. What size are they? 80 bags, 3.5 inch by 5 and 7/8 inch. 3.5 inch by 5 and 7/8 inch. 8.8 centimeters by 14.9 centimeters. 80 bags. And so there's a lot of them in there, and those are my what do you call it? Dispensary, whatever. I can label them. They have a place for labeling if I want to, but I put them in there, and so I accumulate. I take two a day. I take one in the morning and one in the evening, but I take it in conjunction with a B complex, a high quality B complex. Now this is high quality because the B12 is in the form of methylcobalamin, not cyanocobalamin, and the folic acid is replaced with folate. And it's important to do that for some people who don't make use of their B vitamins very well, because if you don't, it just goes right through the system and washes out through the bloodstream, and you don't get the benefit of the folic or the cyanocobalamin. So by using methylcobalamin and folate, it's more likely you'll make use of it. It's for people with weak assimilation, like me. It costs a little bit. It's like just under $30 a bottle, 60 capsules. So I take one twice a day. I take 2 a day in conjunction with the gold and lemon capsule twice a day. Now, if I need to, I can take extra lemon. The lemon is to help create a base of acidity in the gold leaf in my stomach, so that, because I don't have much stomach acid secretion, and so I need more acidity to help me attack the gold, because it's, gold is kind of inert, and probably for good reason, because gold, trigold chloride is toxic. But if I create any ions of gold, it's probably so few that then we have to ask ourselves the question, well, at that dosage of a few ions of gold, literally, how toxic can it be to the physiology, as opposed to how toxic is it to cancer cells or the brain not putting out enough glutamate to avoid ALS, or how toxic is it to depression or to alcoholism. So in that respect, it's useful. So it's a question of degree. Too much of anything is usually no good anyway, right? So, but just the right amount, it's just right. And in conjunction with the right supporting supplements, it's even better. So this is the basic plan that I have. Now, there's one other thing I might mention. I have other conditions that I have to supplement. For instance, I have to supplement with potassium iodide. Um, these are 60 tablets, 30 milligrams each, to help my liver deal with the consequences of my failure to digest rich food like eggs. And then I also have to take cayenne capsules. This is African bird pepper, the very hot cayenne capsules. Too much reflection. um, to clear out the phlegm in my lungs. And what's the other thing I have to take? Oh yeah. And then I take seaweed, either the powder or the capsules, because I get the shakes. Sometimes my hands shake. You know, you get older, you get the shakes. So I have the powder and I have the capsules if I want. But normally I use the powder. I just sprinkle it on dinner. You know, maybe some tomato sauce or something. Then there are other things that are not too important, but still important, like saw palmetto for blood pressure. That's a very good herb for that. Lecithin. When I make homemade ice cream, I use lecithin combined with oil to help break up the oil and make some of it soluble in water to give a smooth texture. Because I make my ice cream vegan. I don't make it with dairy products because I have a bad reaction to dairy products such as milk and cream. Now, some dairy products I will eat, like raw kefir or European style yogurt, which is very sour. And on occasion, if I have to, I'll have sour cream, but usually not. So, for instance, I love cream cheese, cheesecake, but so what I do is I buy vegan cheesecake, and I can tolerate. The other supplement is DE for diatomaceous earth, food grade. It has to be food grade, not the stuff you use in the swimming pool. And that kills parasites in the gut. And then I have olive leaf in case I should ever get hepatitis B again, which I got once before. Oh yeah, and borax, very high grade quality, not 20 multein from the supermarket, but I get it in plastic from soapgoods.com. And if I use it at all once in a great while, I'll use just a few crumbs, and that helps, kill mold, and it also boron absorbs radiation, so it's good for various things. They used it at Chernobyl to bury the rods at Chernobyl. They used borax to help reduce the radiation emission from the rods being exposed at Chernobyl when they had meltdown. And I also have MSM capsules in case in the beginning when I took gold, I had severe pain in my liver and ascending colon. I suspect there was some cancer dying off, so I had to take like 20 grams of MSM. Each capsule is a gram. It was about 3 hours after the first dosage I ever had of goldleaf, and the pain was severe. And what that does, MSM is an oxygen carrier, just like hemin in hemoglobin in the red blood cells is an oxygen carrier. And what the body was trying to do was send more blood by engorging the blood arteries leading to the cancer areas in an attempt to kill off the cancer. And I helped it do its job by boosting the oxygen level of the bloodstream such that the engorgement of the arteries could reduce and stop pinching on the nearby nerves, creating pain. The next time it happened 2 days later, the pain wasn't so bad, and then I only had to take 10 grams instead of 20. And then it never happened again. So I just keep up the gold because I realized it's like an antidepressant, which is the way it's normally listed in homeopathy. But it also works this way too, allopathically. And then I realized, well, maybe I should take it more than just like once in a while. Maybe I should take it once a day. Maybe I should take it twice a day. And that's really where I get the benefit from it. So literally my colon has normalized. I've had bad bowel movements. I've been constipated up my kazoo for years, all due to antifreeze poisoning and the stress of leaving my mother's home and having my son taken from me. I just don't poop very well anymore. I'm anal. I hold on to the pain, and I hold on to the poop as well. Charlie Lutz had an expression for that. Constipation of the brain, So, it's amazing. The gold leaf powder, it didn't work right away. I had a little crisis. I was getting headaches taking the gold leaf powder twice a day, or even once a day, I think. And I had to realize, it took a few days, several days to realize why I was getting the headaches. It was because of gluten added to food products. It's okay if I eat whole grain wheat, such as pita bread, but if I have a bagel which has additional gluten flour added to it, I get headaches if I assume the decision to take gold leaf twice a day. So I had to stop eating bagels, and I haven't eaten any gluten-based vegan wieners as well since I stopped eating bagels. Just on the contingency of that possibly it's the gluten isolate that's the problem, because that's the only thing I could figure. And it works. I don't get headaches anymore from not eating bagels. But I can still eat wheat if I want to, whole wheat bread, it's okay. Just not gluten flour added to various products. And then when I passed through that crisis, a few days had to pass in order for my whole intestinal tract to get emptied out of that, bagel stuff sitting in there, and gluten-based wieners and whatnot. And then a funny thing happened. I started having normal bowel movements. Usually in the morning, like we're supposed to have, 2 or 3, which was uncanny, and the poop was soft. It wasn't hard like a rock. So apparently the gluten flour added to the bagel bakery product was inhibiting digestion. I wasn't digesting it. Yet the gluten in the grain, the whole wheat grain, I could digest. Go figure. I can't figure that one out. Anyway, so my poop is normal now. It's soft. It's, large. It's not little tiny little rabbit pellet rocks. And I can poop a few times a day, whatever it takes to empty out my colon. It's just literally fantastic. And not to say I didn't do one other thing. I took a ton of cayenne pepper yesterday because I was having so much phlegm. And that might have something to do with it. Cayenne is a kicker. It really gets things moving. But I was taking it because of phlegm. But phlegm is usually, that's another thing. The phlegm that I have in my lungs is is associated with my inability to poop, because I get toxins coming back into the bloodstream, loading up the bloodstream, trying to leave every which way they can, and the lungs is one of those ways the body tries to get rid of the toxins. So it's no small wonder I had so much mucus in discharge in my lungs at the end of every meal, especially when I eat starch. So apparently the presence of the gluten flour was prohibiting the digestion of starch. And it kind of makes sense because gluten is a protein, and both protein and starches require stomach acidity to break them down in the first stage of their digestion. And I already have very little stomach acid to begin with, so apparently it was overtaxing me. I couldn't handle it. And the gold was bringing it to my awareness that, hey, dude, stop it already. Is the body was starting to reach me. It's always been trying to communicate with me, but I didn't get it because it's the language of the body, right? And it's not English. So with the help of the gold, I finally figured out. So that's why I'm so constipated. I'm eating something I should not be eating. As much as I love it and addicted to bagels, I can't eat them. So I just have to make do without. And so what the consequence of that is I have to look for other things to satisfy me instead of bagels or vegan wieners. And that means eating eggs and dairy products such as yogurt, full-fat yogurt, sour yogurt in my case, and that does the job. It satisfies me. And nut butter, peanut butter, whatever kind of nut butter I have on hand, tahini, seed butter, things that maybe I would think to myself, I had rationalized, I should stay away from those things. I should eat more lighter things like bagels. But the bagels were ruining my digestion. And then when the food doesn't get digested, a weird thing happens. You become constipated, because then all you can get out of it is the water content of the food mass in your gut. And the food solidifies into a hard rock because it has not been digested sufficiently to be soft and retain water and be able to come out of our colon nice and smoothly and easily. Instead, it's a struggle. Now, it's still a struggle on the toilet because I have other issues. Like I have a partial paralysis of the peristalsis in the tail end of my colon and in the area of my rectum. But that's due to antifreeze poisoning over a decade ago. So that exacerbates the situation, to put it mildly. But at least I can poop with a certain amount of strain, but I can poop and evacuate my colon sufficiently enough to have an appetite to eat food like eggs and dairy products and avoid the gluten flour added to products. So I need to say that because that's the immediate benefit I've been getting out of this, along with the pain I got over initially that might have been cancer, I don't know, of the liver and ascending colon. I wouldn't be surprised because antifreeze does give you cancer, at the very least, among other things. And my cats certainly got cancer. One died of liver cancer, the first one of my 5 cats. Second one died of abdominal cancer, which is the connective tissue holding the intestines together. And that has the symptom of causing the skin to become leathery, brittle. And it's really ungodly, ghastly to see that happen in your kitty. I had to put him down. He was suffering so much. And they don't want to eat and they don't want to drink. They lose their desire, they lose their thirst for water, they lose their strength and motivation to drink, and they lose their motivation for food. It's to watch your loved ones die is no fun. It's no ticket, but I certainly got a lesson to foresee in a worst case scenario, because their metabolic rates are higher and they have smaller bodies, so they got a higher dosage relative to their body weight than I did when I poisoned all of us with antifreeze by error, certainly not by design. And so I got a little bit of foreshadowing of what I had to look forward to for myself. And I was on a raw food diet, 100% vegan raw food diet, and that did not protect me. It merely slowed down the progress of the illness. But what antifreeze does is it speeds up death, basically. And whatever you're going to be prone to, you're going to be prone to anyway. You'll just get there faster and more suddenly with antifreeze than without it. If it doesn't kill you of kidney failure, if you don't take so much that your kidneys fail you, but you will get mutations and cancer looking at you for the rest of your life. And so I've had to find ways to try to stay alive and somewhat healthy. And it's no ticket, it's no fun losing your ability to poop, digest food, be able to drink plain water, thirst for plain water. I'm better now. I can drink more water than I used to. And I think this gold is helping me a lot. But I still occasionally have to drink fruit juice diluted with water to get me to hydrate to drink adequately. But I try to see how much I can drink of plain water. And it has to be distilled water. It can't be mineral water, because then I'll never be able to drink water if there's any minerals in the water. If I want minerals, I can take it separately, see? I can take kelp, seaweed, and I have potassium and, I have calcium and magnesium supplementation, but I don't need to take it anymore, and that's beautiful. And it's all because my bowels are working. So I was taking all that calcium and magnesium to offset all the toxins being created in my colon from not pooping, but now I get to poop. Poop. So it's beautiful. I love it. So I'm making my batch of several dosages of capsules here of gold. It'll last me a day or two or so. And so I thought I'd make this video. I'm sorry I don't have a tripod handy dandy to hold up this cell phone to use both my hands, but I tried to do the best I can to show you what I do and how I do it. And I guess I've told you everything. So, okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.